How different a room becomes when it is lit by candlelight. It is only then that the silent shadows, which are always with us, can finally be allowed to take centre stage. In these modern times, it is rare to see the flickering of a candle. Only on those unexpected occasions when electricity lets us down do we reach for these wax sentinels, and matches strike like a triumphant symphony in house after house. It's a warm light, and on occasion a comforting one. The dark corners of the room that the weaker candle flame fails to illuminate become the potential hiding places for the things we dread and the unspoken thoughts that even the most rationally minded of us are prone to have. I am alone here, aren't I? The same can be said of a familiar building after everyone else has gone home. Here at WeepingBank Library, I'm used to the sound of people browsing. But for the person whose job it is to lock up at night, the building can take on an altogether different feeling. Noises become unnerving. Darkened rooms suddenly seem to contain watchful figures. I must confess that even making the short journey from my office to the front door in the dark is not one that I particularly relish. And yet, during the day, I wouldn't think twice about it. And it has left me wondering if the same can be said of everything we find so reassuring. Can they so easily have the opposite effect? A classroom full of children, I would imagine, brings a certain amount of joy and comfort to those who work there. But for the lowly janitor who has to lock up at night and hears a voice in a seemingly deserted corridor would not go home and rest easily. This afternoon, while drinking tea in my study, I could hear the half-muffled voices of the children enjoying story time in the library, and it gave me pause. There is, after all, nothing so reassuring as the sound of a child's voice, or so sinister, depending on the circumstance. Nowhere is that better illustrated than in the story of Angela Reese. This is the first of tonight's stories I'm going to read to you. A story entitled, Now You Lay Me Down to Sleep.